It's been nearly 31 years of mystery surrounding the gruesome murder of Lynn Priestley. The 34-year-old City of Charleston employee's naked body was found along the banks of the Kanawha River 5 days after she was reported missing in March 1990. There have been no arrests, no answers, and no justice for Priestley and her family, who have since gone to their graves, never knowing who killed her.
It was what it was. It was a very brutal, savage, sadistic killing.
More than 30 years ago, Jeannie Dreisbach made a promise.
We weren't going to go to our graves without pursuing this further.
A vow to find out who killed her best friend, Lynn Priestley.
And those things happen, but they don't happen to people you know and love. It was so unreal.
A young woman with a wicked sense of humor, Lynn liked to have fun.
She didn't take herself too seriously, and she always would tell me to lighten up. She was quite a flirt. She had lots and lots of boyfriends throughout the years, and probably for that reason, frankly, a lot of girls, I think, were jealous of her.
She worked for the City of Charleston in the mayor's office like her mother Blanche. But in 1990, she was the assistant director at the Charleston Urban Renewal Authority.
I know that she envisioned herself probably being very much like her mother, staying at City Hall till she retired and having a family and just living a nice life here in Charleston. She wanted to be happy like everybody else.
It was St. Patrick's Day weekend in Charleston, Friday, March 16, 1990. The boys' state basketball tournament was also in town. Lynn was out drinking and having fun with friends and a man she was dating.
I wouldn't call him her boyfriend. The media portrayed him as her boyfriend during the investigation. He was actually more of an arm piece. And I'm going to be honest, she was using him. He took her places, he bought her things.
The group started at Bennigan's at the Charleston Town Center Mall and eventually ended up at nearby Tidewater.
She was talking with friends, and she used to work with them, and I guess he was jealous that she was talking with them.
Bartenders remember an argument between Lynn and the man before Lynn stormed out, leaving her car keys on the bar. He followed her outside and down the street toward the Judicial Building.
Loud disturbance outside around the Judicial Annex, which brought the attention to a bailiff who came out and addressed the situation, and then she was last seen headed east on Corey Street.
Lynn's friends later told police she was supposed to meet them at Spanky's bar on the boulevard, but she never showed up. It was the last time Lynn was seen alive.
Well, she just disappeared. Now, that's all there is to it.
Lynn's parents reported her missing at 4 o'clock the next day.
We have no idea, and with so many people in town that somebody else could have grabbed her, we feel sure that she was attacked or kidnapped.
It must have been at least 6, 8 investigators working different parts of the case, trying to trace her steps, see if witnesses, interview witnesses.
Former Charleston police officer Dallas Staples was there as that frantic search came to an end. 5 days later, March 21st, Lynn's body was found by a fisherman.
Priestley's body was discovered about 10 miles east of Charleston on the Kanawha Riverbank between Chillian and Chesapeake. It was lying face down close to the water, completely nude.
Lynn's clothes and purse were never found. An autopsy revealed she had been strangled and her body thrown over the guardrail down a steep and rocky embankment.
It was not a ligature strangling, and it appears to have been done by human hands.
Staples remembers the horror the city felt.
Dominance and degradation of the victim.
And the media frenzy and speculation as police announced they did have a suspect and persons of interest, but they never named names.
They're not at the point in the investigation where they feel comfortable filing any formal charges at this point.
Charleston police set up a 24-hour tip line trying to get any lead that would point them to the killer.
This file here, this file is full of all the leads that were taken during that time.
Current Chief of Detectives Tony Hazlett says there were probably 500 leads in that file, and he's reviewing every single one. Some coming in as recent as 2002. He says he's now personally reviewing the entire case, front to back.
This is a jigsaw puzzle, and it's missing a little piece. And I think if everything goes right, we can connect this. We can solve this case.
Lynn's parents have long since passed away. So has her only sister. It's a pain her friends can't fully explain.
None of us want to go to our grave knowing that the answers, there wasn't any justice for her.
Both friends remember a now haunting conversation with Lynn before she was murdered.
She told us that she had been seeing this guy, actually found out that he was married, and she was going to break up with him that next week. And lo and behold, she comes up missing.
She told me that Thursday night, she says, I've just got to kick him to the curb because he's getting more and more possessive, clingy. And she said, Jean, I know what I want, and it's not him.
Left wondering if they'll ever find the piece of the puzzle needed to close Lynn's case and finally give them peace.
Although Lynn's biological family is pretty much gone, she still has some friends that a day doesn't go by when she's not missed. I have a 26-year-old daughter that never got to meet her Aunt Lynn, that she would have loved.